Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Card Games That Don't Suck, in which I'm once again joined by Kylie to talk about a two-player game called Cribbage. Now, I know we covered Gin Rummy, an excellent two-player game just recently, but some bozo left a comment saying, what is this, card games that do suck? Well, I'm quite easily riled up because now I'm back with a different two-player game that Kylie and I have gotten pretty obsessed with, to the point of buying our own cribbage sets. Mine cost £8. Kylie cost how much?
£4.
Yeah, you can kind of see the difference in quality there. Do you want to open it up for the... Oh, wow. Whereas, what Kylie and I found when we bought cribbage sets is they all come with cards, but the cards are the worst cards known to man.
And they're not even standard card size either.
No. So. Also, every set comes with pegs, but my pegs come in this weird medical gauze bag. So cribbage is an absolutely bizarre game to play. It's even harder to learn. I think we're going to persevere. I'm going to do it for cribbage. So, first things first, you're each going to cut the deck to see who gets to be dealer first. You're looking for the low card here. That's going to be me. So in some card games, who gets to be the dealer first is inconsequential. In cribbage, Kylie and I have literally lost games because we weren't the dealer first. The dealer is then going to, I believe you get to cut.
Yep.
We like to do things properly, Kylie and I. And then from that cut, the dealer is going to deal out 6 cards to each player. Cribbage is a game played over multiple rounds. You're going to try and score as many points in a round as possible. First person to hit 121 wins. This is why beating the dealer first is good, because the dealer is going to get a bunch of points. So in each round of cribbage, both players are going to look at their 6 cards. Oh my goodness, this is one of the best cards I've ever seen.
I know, me too.
One of the best cards. Really? Because this deck isn't very well shuffled. Okay, so... right, and then you're going to pick 2 cards that you don't want. Let's do that. See, this is the problem. Every time we try and teach this game, Kylie and I do end up playing. So,
Okay, fine.
you're going to discard 2 cards. So now, at this stage in each round, every player will have a hand of 4 cards, but then there'll also be 4 cards if you discard it in the middle. This is a kind of second hand that the dealer will get to score, but you're not going to look at until the end of the round. So once you have your 4 cards, then I believe someone's going to cut. I'm not sure. It's not enormously important in terms of cribbage etiquette. The point is you get a random card from the deck that's going to sit there. What does it do? Don't worry about that right now. Just sort of, it's something you have to do at the beginning of the round. We'll talk about what it does later. Now, you're going to start playing. And what play means in cribbage is the player who is the non-dealer is going to play out play a card rather. And when you do that, you call the total. Now, number cards have the value of the number. Face cards, so jacks, kings, and queens, are worth 10. And all aces are worth 1. Now, what you're doing here also is playing to 31, okay? So if you really want to force your opponent into a situation where they can't play cards because your total between the two of you would go over 31. Let's show them what that looks like. So starting with you.
10.
Okay, 16.
23.
23, that puts us at 31. Look at that. So that's an example of how you... Okay. Oh boy, let's get into how you score in cribbage. So when that happens, we'll start you off simple. If someone takes us straight to 31, that's 2 points for that person. If you have, a lovely cribbage set, then you're going to peg yourself that many points forward. Scoring in cribbage involves taking your back peg and moving it from the front as many as you just scored. So I just got 2 points for hitting 31, so that's 1, 2, and you're gonna, socket that in there. You don't have to buy a cribbage set. You can keep track with dashes on a piece of paper, or you can get a free app online. Those are available for iOS and Android. Now, let's walk you through. So once you hit 31, also, you're going to keep playing again from 0, okay? We turn those over. That's exciting. However, let's talk about some other ways to score. So for example, let's say we're in this situation, and rather than hitting 31, let's imagine that rather than having an 8 that I could have played, I didn't have a card that I could have played. Now this is another way you can score in cribbage. So if I can't play anything that would keep us under 31, then I say go. And in doing that, in putting me in that situation, Kylie would score a point and then would get to play a card again. Getting to play twice in a row is also relevant because whoever plays the last card gets 1 point.
Yep.
See, this is why Kylie has made. Let's definitely pop this on camera. Kylie has made her own tiny cribbage reference card, and that's why she's making sure that I get all the point values correct. This is not a crazy thing to do if you want to take cribbage seriously, and you kind of do because this game is hellaciously addictive. Then you're not going to think it is, but you just have to take our word for it. Right. In addition to getting 2 points if you hit 31, you get 2 points if you hit 15. So let's imagine at the start of this round, Kylie plays a 7. If I play an 8, then the total is 15, which is going to give me, 2 points. But unlike hitting 31, we then continue from 15, so Kylie would play a card there. However, we're just getting started. We can also talk about pairs, or 3 of a kind, or a 4. So if I play, let's say Kylie played the 7, I play the 8, Kylie plays an 8, the 2 most recent cards were pairs. And that's great because it gets you, my eyes keep looking down at the arcane scoring of cribbage. If you play a pair like Kylie just did, that gets you 2 points. But what if I played the 8, Kylie played the 8, but then I played another 8. Ooh, we're also getting points for 3 of a kind or 4 of a kind. So Kylie got those 2 points for getting a pair. In this situation, I would get 6 points for placing the 3rd card. Or if you play 4 of a kind, the person who plays that 4th card in the set gets 12 points, which is pretty wild. However, if this stuff is interrupted, like if Kylie played an 8, I played an 8 and scored for that, but then Kylie played a 7, I wouldn't then be able to finish the 3 of a kind because you have to play those cards in sequence. Now, let's talk about runs. If Kylie played a 7, and then I played an 8, and then Kylie played a 9. Holy cow, that's a 3-card run. That's going to get you as many points as are in the run. Runs only start when you've placed the 3rd card. So I'm placing the 3rd card in this run. Kylie has just scored herself 1, 2, 3 points. But I could continue that. And in fact, here's something crazy. I can continue it with a 6 because runs do not have to happen in sequence. So if Kylie plays a 7, then I play a 9, then she plays an 8, that's still her completing a 3-card run. So actually what I've done here is I played the 4th card in a run, which is going to get me 1, 2, 3, 4 points. So because our run is 6, 7, 8, 9, Kylie could continue the run by playing a 10 or a 5. A king, it's not good enough. So that then ends that particular run. So once you've done this and the run is sort of broken, then you're sort of starting over from scratch. Wow, we actually covered it all. That's miraculous. Okay.
Also, I realised level pegging.
Level pegging.
That must be where that comes from.
Oh.
This is a crazy thing about when you start looking at old card games. You discover the entirety of English language is entirely based on people wasting their time in pubs with cards. Eventually, your play state will look something like this. You've each played 4 cards. All this playing you've been doing, you've been scoring points. You're a sweet summer child because now we get into the real scoring of cribbage. You're going to score the non-dealer's hand first. So now, what Kylie's going to do is she's going to look at all those cards that she has and see if she can score any of them. And some of the scoring is similar to what we just did, but some of it is different. So we have a run, maybe?
Okay, yep, we've got a run.
So you look at your 4 cards to see what sense you can make, and you can use this card up here that we flipped over. It's not relevant for you here because aces are low, but we've still got the 7, 8, 9s. That's going to be 3 points there. Have you got anything else?
Yep, I got 15.
15, okay, remember you get points for hitting 15. When you're scoring your hand at the end, you can see all the many and varied ways you can score 15. So Kylie has a 7 and an 8 here, which would be another 2 points. Now, let's imagine that in Kylie's hand was another 8. So if her whole hand was 9, 8, 7, 8, then she could put those 2 cards out to score that. But she can also swap the other 8 out because it's every single possible way that you can score 15, including using that card up there. So in fact, if this card was an 8, Kylie could score a 3rd pair by doing that 7 and 8, that 7 and 8, the other 7 and 8. Yeah. So if you think all of this sounds confusing, it is. There is a variant of cribbage where if you miss any points, like if you sort of leave points on the table you could have scored and your opponent goes, oh, actually you could have made another 15 there, your opponent gets those points. What's that called?
Muggins.
Muggins. That's the Muggins variant, which we have not played because we're very afraid of that. You can do a flush at this stage of the game as well. If you get a flush like this where all 4 cards in your hand are in the same suit, then that is worth 4 points. Now, when you're making a flush, unlike with runs and pairs, you cannot use this card. A hand has to stand on alone as a flush. However, if you've scored your flush and the card on top of the deck happens to be the same suit, you don't get 4 points for this, you get 5 total points instead. Finally, when scoring your hand, there's a particularly wacky rule, which is that if in the hand you're scoring, you have the jack of the same suit as the flipped card on top of the deck, that is called knobs.
Yeah.
Okay, good. See, get the terminology in, and that will get you 1 point.
Yep, 1 for the knob.
And we've saved the best and dumbest rule in cribbage for last. If at that point at the beginning of a round, when you are flipping a card over, if that card happens to be a jack, the dealer gets 2 points, just free. That's just like, well done, a jack showed up on the deck. That's called 2 for his heels, and that will score the dealer 2 points. So the non-dealer is going to score all of their cards in that way. Then the dealer will do exactly the same thing with their 4 cards, and then they'll get points, and it'll be fine and fair, and that sounds nice. However, then the dealer will also do exactly the same thing with those 4 cards they discarded. And this is pure gambling, really, because, you know, each of you, the dealer puts in 2 good cards, hopefully, but then the non-dealer is just going to put in 2 cards they want to absolutely disrupt this. So this hand is usually bad. However, sometimes it's great. Certainly, like I've seen it have game-swinging things. It's kind of just a fun reveal in cribbage because neither of you know what's in the crib. You flip it and then you go, oh, actually I can make 15 there. And then I can make another 15. And then there's a pair of 10s and it's almost a flush. And it's a fun surprise, which the non-dealer hates because the dealer did almost nothing to deserve it. Fun bit of cribbage trivia, or cribbia. I don't like that. These two made me say it. If you reveal the crib and it's nothing, that is colloquially known as 19, because 19 is a number in cribbage that doesn't do anything. You can't actually make any points with it, and it drives you completely mad. I've played more than one game of cribbage where you flip the crib and go, there must be something here. Really? There's nothing? Oh my god. So that's what a round looks like. You're each going to score as many points as you can from doing this. The dealer will absolutely have the advantage. However, after that, you're going to take all of the cards, give the deck a shuffle, the other player will become the dealer, which means that I cut, and you can deal us each 6 cards from there. Repeat until one player has scored 121 points. Why can't I remember that? Good news is I don't have to. All I need to know is that you need to go all the way around my cool cribbage set. I kind of regret spending so little money on this, considering it's something I actually use, and the pegs are properly rubbish. Why is cribbage so good? It's annoying to learn. It's frequently unfair to play, and yet. But
it's like you kind of, whenever you do something, you're going to be scoring points.
Yeah. A lot of board games do that actually, right? The sort of like point salady, like, you know, just spinning up points from everything.
It's great, but I like it because it's sort of like the game in an evening. You'd sit and you'd have a glass of wine, and you know, you'd smoking jacket. I imagine. And
it's
you
got
just sit and play cribbage.
Yeah, it's got I think the reason it fills time so well is that like some rounds are like really intense and tactical. You can put a lot of thought into it, and then some rounds are just absolute nonsense. And then the hand you get also determines how you play. There's more strategy to this than you might think. Like, because there's ways to play to force people to let you hit 15, or if you want to create a run, you play in certain ways that you might coax different cards out of your opponent's hand. I mean, it's a very dumb game, but there's artistry to it, which I absolutely wasn't expecting. There you go. If you're not happy with Gin Rummy as your 2-player card game of choice, you didn't know what you're asking for. Now I'm telling you to buy a cribbage set because, my goodness, you're going to have some fun. It just gets under your skin. Try it yourself if you are exactly as crazy as us. Thank you very much for watching, everybody.